Hi everyone, this is Mujdi from Let's Study English. Today we're going to be studying together Unit 7 in Connect Plus 4, which is all around the world. Let's get started. Firstly, we need to recognize some important vocabulary. The first word that we have is coastal. Coastal. Coastal is an adjective that describes a place or anything in the sea or on land beside the sea. For example, the coastal communities are in danger because of the sea level rise. Mountainous. Mountainous. Sometimes you hear this word as mountainous. Mountainous. This is the American accent of this word. So you can say mountainous or mountainous. Mountainous means covered with mountains, such as Sinai is a mountainous region in Egypt. Polar. Polar. Coming from or relating to an area near the North and South poles. For example, warmth melted some of the polar ice. Climate change. Climate change. Changes in the world's weather. Climate change and global warming are changing the planet in a bad way. Emissions. Emissions. The act of sending gas, light or heat into the air. The emissions from cars are responsible for a lot of air pollution. Generate. Generate. Generate means to produce energy in a particular form. A dynamo is used to generate electricity. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is heat energy from the earth. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source. By the way, I can say renewable or renewable. Tide. Tide. The rise and fall of the sea that happens twice every day. The moon is the main cause of tides in the Earth's oceans. Water wheels. Water wheels. Water wheel is a large wheel which is moved by moving water and it's used to make a machine work. For example, water wheels could move machines and these machines helped with both farming and making food. Then I have a machine which is called a wind turbine or wind turbine. Again, I can say turbine or turbine. This is a large machine which is used for producing electricity from the wind. A wind turbine is a type of electric power generator. Oasis. Oasis. Oasis is a small area in a desert where water and plants are found. Siwa is a wonderful oasis. And the plural form is oases. Oases. Again, oasis, this is the singular form, one oasis. O-A-S-I-S. But oases, this is the plural form, so I can say two oases. O-A-S-E-S. Now you have 7 environments and 7 descriptions. So you're going to listen and put the suitable environment above each description. Let's get started. The first one. There are lots of trees, plants and flowers here. Lots of animals live in these places. For example, there are insects, birds, reptiles, and mammals. It often rains and the temperature is hot. Rainforest. The second one, this environment is where the land is next to the sea. In some places, there are beaches with sand, and sometimes there are swamps and forests. The Nile Delta is an example, and so is the Red Sea. Coastal. The third one, it's very dry in this environment. The animals and plants that live here have to find clever ways to survive without a lot of water. You can find these environments on every continent, and they can be hot or cold. Desert. The fourth one, there aren't many houses or buildings here, so this place often has more animals and plants. Not many people live here, so it's sparsely populated. It can have lots of different kinds of weather, but it's a quiet place to live. Rural. Number 5. There are 2 of these environments in the world, the Arctic and the Antarctic. It's cold and windy here, with a lot of ice. Some animals have found ways to live here, but there aren't any trees or flowers. Polar. Number 6. This is a metropolitan area, which is densely populated. Most people in the world live in this kind of environment. There are lots of buildings, and there can be a lot of traffic too. Urban. Number 7. It can be difficult for people to live and travel in this high environment. They are very beautiful places, but they can be cold with lots of rain or snow. And the weather can quickly. The animals and plants that live here have to find special ways to survive. This is mountains. Here we have 3 options and 3 photos. What we need to do is to look at the photo and label it. The options are air pollution, fuel, water pollution. If we look at the first photo, we can find fuel. In the second photo, we can see air pollution. The third one, water pollution. We have 5 words and 5 definitions. What we need to do is to match the proper word to the definition. We have air pollution, carbon dioxide, climate change, emissions, fuel, water pollution. The first definition, when the weather and temperature change over a long period of time. This is climate change, a gas in the atmosphere known as CO2. It can be dangerous when there is too much in the air. Carbon dioxide. When the air is dirty, this can make people or animals sick. Air pollution. When water is dirty because of chemicals or plastic, this is water pollution. This is something we burn to make heat or power. Fuel. These are made, for example, by factories, cars, and lorries. They can cause air pollution. Emission. If I ask you, what are you doing right now? You can say, I am watching a video right now. Actually, this is the present continuous tense. It talks about actions that are happening right now. And we all know that it consists of a subject, verb to be in the present, which is am, is, are, and a verb plus ing. Let's apply this to these questions. In the first one, we have I walk to school. It turns into I am walking. Why? Because I takes am. And we add up ing to the verb, so it turns into walking. So I'm walking to school. In the second question, he wait for the bus. He takes is. So I say he is waiting for the bus. In the third question, I use recycled plastic. I takes an, so I am using. But let's have a look at use. Use ends with E. So we have to drop the E before adding the ing. It turns into using, U-S-I-N-G. I'm using recycled plastic. Number 4, we learn about climate change. We takes are, so I can say we are or we're. We are learning about climate change. They drive an electric car. It turns into they are driving an electric car. Again, drive ends with E. I'm going to drop the E before adding the ing. Hannah watched a TV program. It turns into Hannah is watching a TV program. Number 7, I read an article about the environment. I can say, I am reading an article about the environment. 8, Tariq listen to a podcast. It turns into Tariq is listening to a podcast. In this question, we need to turn the verbs between brackets into present continuous tense. So these people take are. Yes, so I say these people are helping to stop pollution. They are on a beach and they are picking up garbage. The garbage can be dirty. So they are wearing, yes, they are wearing gloves. They are putting. But here put consists of P-U-T. Consonant, the P is consonant and the U is vowel. So P-U-T, consonant, vowel, consonant. The P is consonant, the U is vowel, and the T is consonant. That's why we need to add the last letter before adding the ing. So put turns into putting the plastic in bags so it doesn't go into the sea. Now I want you to open the student's book, page 8, to read this text well and answer the question, which is why is a coastal environment a good place for a wind farm? It's better to pause the video in order to read the text well and try to answer the question. When you finish reading the text, you're going to find out that the coastal environment is a good place for a wind farm because the coastal environment can get a lot of wind. Also, I want you to pause the video and open page 10 in the student's book in order to read this report. This is about geothermal energy in Iceland. When you read it, you're going to find some numbers like 600, 200, and 100. You have to know what do they refer to. After finishing reading the text, you can find that 600 is the number of hot springs and 200 is the number of volcanoes. Related to 100, this is the percentage of Iceland's electricity, which comes from renewable resources. Then open page 11 and read this text. It's about hydroelectricity. When you read it, you will know how was hydroelectricity used in the past. Actually, it was used to turn water wheels, which could move machines. This helped with farming and making food. Last but not least, you have to open page 12 in order to read this text. It's about how many trees will Egypt plant and why is it doing this. Egypt will plant 1 million trees all over the country. It's doing this because trees will help protect people from air pollution.